Welcome to the Monday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Monday morning. Oops, sorry, chat. Hey, how's it going, Dragon Tamer? Morning. Hey, Jesse, how's it going? Sorry about that. There we are. Okay. Perfect. Hope everyone had an awesome weekend. Doing good today. That's good to hear. That is very good to hear. We spent a good part of the weekend doing a little bit of gardening. We have more strawberry plants, which is really exciting, and we replaced our pepper plants, so I think that we're doing good. I just noticed you kind of look like my brother. Hey, I watched the debate you were in on YouTube last night. Yes, there is a VOD on YouTube. Self-sufficiency and fresh is always best. True, and it's homegrown, so I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a section for pictures. Although, to be fair, I should make a garden and food section. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do in terms of the Discord, but oh yeah. Seems like you've been handling it just fine. Yeah, it's a work in progress, that's for sure. It can only get better. I mean, true. You saw the debate on YouTube. Was it the immigration debate? Sadly, I sadly haven't had it go. It went pretty well, I think. It went pretty well. I mean, you could check it out on YouTube whenever you have the chance, because it's just there. But yeah, I had lots of fun. Pretty good. All right, so we got quite a few stories to go through. We've got quite a few stories to go through. Let me bring everybody up. Yeah, it was a good discussion. I agree. Some old NYC Union guys are so tough. Oh, yeah. Hey, Bike Shop Guru. 55 of the nation's largest corporations paid no federal income tax on more than 40 billion in profits last year. They received federal rebates, true, of more than 3 billion, and an effective tax rate of negative 9%. Their tax breaks for 2020 including 8.5 billion in tax avoidance. Added to the 3.5 billion in rebates comes to 12 billion. Yep, I don't doubt that. That's for sure. I don't doubt that. That's for sure. That's right. We got another email from the. We got another Gab email to go through, so that should be fun. There was unfortunately another shooting in North Carolina. Just to go over some of the brief stuff that we missed, there was a shooting in North Carolina, and also, folks, quick correction on the quick correction. Yes, exclamation mark merch for awesome merch. Washington Post story, got you. Quick correction on the Georgia bill, folks. The Georgia bill says that you can't give food or water to people in line. It seems like that actually means that you can't give food and water to people in line within 150 feet of the said polling location. This is why it's so important, as I stressed in the initial coverage of the story, to get familiar with the actual bill and be prepared to do whatever it is that you need to do. If the bill says, no food within the first 150 feet, then if these bills become law, then make sure that you're prepared for that. Make sure that you're prepared for whatever it is that the bills say. So, quick story correction. The actual bill says that you can give food and water to people as long as it's past the 150 feet. That seems so common now? Yes. Yes. I'm using mobile, so it seems like chat is a bit delayed. Yeah, I mean, Twitch is goofy. Yeah, Twitch is goofy. Twitch is goofy, so it's quite possible that you may have delays or some weird stuff going on. Maybe the Republicans are lizard people after all. Alright, Alex Jones. Okay, so getting through some of the headlines. Florida. Toxic wastewater reservoir on verge of collapse in Florida could cause catastrophic event. Yeah. This was brought to my attention on the Discord thanks to Mono. Hundreds of residents in Manatee County, Florida, were ordered to evacuate their homes over Easter weekend as officials feared that the wastewater pond could collapse at any time. On Saturday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency for the area. County officials said the pond located at the former Piney Point Phosphate Processing Plant. Piney Point Phosphate Processing Plant had a significant leak, according to CBS affiliate WTSP TV. The Manatee County Public Safety Department told people near the plant to evacuate due to an imminent, uncontrolled release of wastewater. Yikes. A portion of the containment wall at the leak site shifted laterally, said Manatee Director of Public Safety Jake Sauer, signifying that that structural collapse could occur at any time. How do how do you solve that? You need to move the waste, I imagine, right? I just don't know what you would do in that situation. That's funny. Manatee County has published an ongoing live stream of footage from a drone that is monitoring the area. So we got a live stream going too. Oh, I see. Yikes. Unbelievable. Well, this is extremely worrisome. I don't know how I don't know how widespread the impact could potentially be, but it doesn't look good. Even if it's contained to the local ecosystem, it's just not good. Yeah, who needs the infrastructure bill now? We do, apparently. I wonder what the official response to this is. I don't know. It seems like their initial response is to evacuate as many people as possible. But I don't know what they're going to plan to do to fix it. Maybe we'll know in a second. Governor DeSantis told people living in the area to bend over just far enough to kiss your ass goodbye. Yeah, they told him to evacuate. Manatee County Public Safety Department initially sent out emergency evacuation notices on Friday for those who were within half a mile of Piney Point, and by 11 a.m., Saturday evacuation orders were extended to people within 1 mile north of the reservoir stack of phosphogypsum, a fertilizer waste product, and those within half a mile south to the site. Surrounding stretches of highway were also closed to traffic. Mandatory evacuations were extended to an additional half a mile west and 1 mile southwest of the site on Saturday evening. Manatee County Public Safety Department said that 316 households are within the full evacuation area. Jeez. Yikes. Despite the mandatory evacuations for local residents, officials have not fully evacuated Manatee County Jail, which lies within the evacuation zone. The Manatee County Sheriff confirmed to CBS News on Sunday that more than 1,000 inmates will be moving 345 to an undisclosed secure location, whatever that means. The move, the office said, is to free up bed space for the remaining 721 inmates on the upper level of the jail. For security purposes, we're not providing details right now about the transfer of inmates. The office said Sheriff Rick Wells and staff are in constant communication with officials on the situation and are feeling better with the progress to drain the stack. In the event of a collapse, we expect only about a foot of water making it into... What? Only? Only a foot of water? Okay. They just told, like, they have gotten transportation for those who have a harder time evacuating? Lol, nah. Hey, Heat, how's it going? Hope you had a nice weekend. You too. It could create a 20-foot wall of water and make the bay stink for a decade due to overwhelming algae bloom. Yeah, algae bloom has been like a consistent problem with in South Florida. It's been a consistent problem for quite some time. We've actually, one of our earliest videos, if you guys have seen some of our Saturday streams, we sometimes like have played very old videos, or maybe towards the beginning of the stream, towards the beginning of the streaming life of this channel, I played a couple of videos that were shot on a dinner table or a couch with a old school GoPro, with nothing but an old school GoPro, no microphones, no nothing. We did a story about the algae problem in Florida and how nobody's really doing anything about it, the source of the problem, and what needs to be done about it. Generally, the source of this problem is big agriculture runoff, and we have yet to seriously address that at all, even though officials have been told multiple times throughout, the life of Florida. As far as we've known, the problem with algae bloom is XXX, and yet there's no solution. Memius, how's it going? I've personally seen the algae, but it's been a while though since COVID, but I remember seeing the news stories. Oh yeah, a long time ago, I went down to the bay, to help my brother do research in terms of like what's going on with Florida's ecosystems and things like that. And part of what they were researching is the algae. And we saw some of it there. I wonder what the scientific reaction to this is. Probably red alert. They're probably on red alert at this point. Right or left? What does that mean? I got my vax and have been more social with my family. Ayy. Nice. I remember some airboat pilots telling me the stuff that we were in the Everglades. Been so long, but someone knowledgeable told me of that. It was bad and they were doing something about it. Yeah, they're trying. They are trying, but it does take a tad bit of political will. It does take a tad bit of political will. As in your political stance. I'm a dude. I'm a news dude. I'm a dude that does news. For security purposes, oh yeah, okay, so only expecting a foot of water making into jail property, that's beyond ridiculous. A foot of water is massive. So it seems to me like their grand plan is to just evacuate the first floor, and then that's it. That's the bare minimum. Okay. State Representative Michelle Rayner Goolsby tweeted that she had spoken to the sheriff, and he has assured her that there is a plan in place to make sure the inmates are in jail are protected and evacuated safely. I am good with the plan, she added. Also, Sunday night, the Federal Aviation Administration issued temporary flight restrictions over the reservoir for Monday. What does that have to do with anything? But okay. On Monday morning, Manatee County Schools announced that the school bus transportation within the evacuation zone has been suspended. Students from 6 schools are impacted by the situation, according to the list of impacted buses. At a press conference Sunday morning, DeSantis said that officials are pumping out 33 million gallons of water a day from the pond, and added, and that the water is not radioactive, although another official added that the water is not water we want to see leaving the site. The primary concern, DeSantis says, is the nutrient makeup of the water, which contains metals. Reports on the water samples should be available in the coming days. Okay, so exactly as I thought, they're going to try to drain this to make sure that they can remove this safely. Common decency and common sense. There you go. Yeah, yeah, they need to remove this toxic waste before it gets bad. We're just hoping we can continue to get the water out in an efficient way to prevent a catastrophic event. Officials said at the meeting that the greatest threat from the time being is flooding. Even after days of pumping water out of the reservoir, there are still roughly 3,450 million gallons of wastewater that could suddenly be unleashed. If the reservoir were to fully collapse, one model shows that the area could be a 20-foot wall of water within minutes. Jesus. Phosphogypsum is the radioactive waste left over from processing phosphate ore into a state that can be used for fertilizer, according to the Center for Biological Diversity. In addition to high concentrations of radioactive material, phosphogypsum and processed wastewater can also contain carcinogens and heavy toxic metals, the center said in a statement on Saturday. For every ton of phosphoric acid produced, the fertilizer industry creates 5 tons of radioactive phosphogypsum waste, which is stored in mountainous stacks hundreds of acres wide and hundreds of feet tall. Jesus. I mean... Still sipping my first coffee. I think I'm on my second one. Maybe towards the middle I'll get another cup of coffee. I have a question. Why have officials said that no radioactive material is being stored there, but on the other hand we have people saying phosphogypsum is radioactive? Somebody's not telling the truth or not telling the complete makeup of what's going on here. Manatee County Commissioner Vanessa Baugh said in a statement Saturday that the public must heed the notice to avoid harm. The water that is currently being pumped out by officials to avoid a full collapse is a mix of seawater from a local dredge project, stormwater, and rain runoff. The water has not been treated. The water meets water quality standards for marine water with the exception of pH, total phosphorus, total nitrogen, and total ammonia nitrogen, the state said in a statement. It is slightly acidic, but not at the level that is expected to be concerned, nor is expected to be toxic. Wait. Oh, I see. Okay, so the water that is currently being pumped out. Gotcha. Florida Commissioner of Agriculture Nikki Fried wrote a letter to DeSantis on Saturday urging an emergency session of the Florida cabinet to discuss the situation. She wrote that the leaking water is contaminated radioactive wastewater and noted that this leak is not the property's first. For more than 50 years, this Central Florida mining operation has caused numerous human health and environmental disaster and incidents. Reed wrote, there have been numerous well-documented failures which continue today of the property's reserve liner, including leaks, poor welds, holes, cracks, and weaknesses that exist prior to the that existed prior to purchase by the current owner HRK Holdings and exacerbated since. Wing the Ultimate Nug, how's it going? Hambliss, how's it going? They ignored the problem for 20 years? Yeah. It seems like Florida. It seems like the typical Florida. What's happening? I just joined. The world is ending. True. True. Right. It's such a not a big deal. Right, it's such a not a big deal that they feel like they need to clear 1.5 miles around it. But nothing to see here. These are just precautions. These are just precautions. Maybe you'll grow superpowers from the radioactivity. Oh no. Hey Darknet, how's it going? What would ADD's radioactive superpower be? I don't know. Could it be that it depends on here's a hot take. It depends on whether or not I'm wearing the beanie at the time. Okay? Probably growing extra limbs. Maybe it depends on whether or not I'm growing the beanie. Because if I have the beanie, maybe my brain will grow so big that it cannot be contained. And that's what's gonna happen. You will turn into a Florida swamp creature? True. At this point, I assume the beanie was part of your head. It is. But it will be expanded. The logic is flawless, true. His beanie is a mood ring? True. I need to make a, a community goal where if you guys reach as a community X amount of channel points, I will make a beanie-less stream. And lead the ways directly to Mar-a-Lago. That's right. Beanie Man able to crawl over towering buildings in a single hour. True. On Sunday, hopes corroborated the issue with the Piney Point facility that have persisted for decades. 4 decades, folks. While the governor on Sunday blamed the situation on HRK Holdings, the company that owns the site, and said it will be held accountable for the incident, Hopes indicated that the latest leak is a result of officials not acting on past failures. It could have been resolved 2 decades ago, Hope said. What I've seen in the past 4 days from the governor's office is that all agencies and entities are now committed to a permanent resolution. Amazing. Meanwhile, the Florida National Guard deployed 2 CH-47 helicopters on Sunday to place 2 pumps at the site to lower the water level. The pumps should be running at full capacity by Monday morning, Hope said at a Sunday afternoon press conference. That should be today. The controlled release is working. The breach release is traveling in the direction that we anticipated and planned for, so we believe that probably by Tuesday we're going to be in a much better position and the risk level will have decreased significantly with the governor's assets. Okay. I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. And you can't prove a thing. Exactly. Yeah. That's a scary idea. I don't want to see your brain. I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I'll pass on seeing you lick your own brain, sir. No. I was saying that it would just grow so big that I don't even know. Like the beanie will expand along with the. That's Bart Simpson whenever he gets into trouble. Authorities noted that the Manatee County water is safe to drink and there's no threat to Lake Manatee, which is the primary source of drinking water. Well water was also not affected. I want to believe. But I ain't exactly sure. However, I do admit that there's no evidence to suggest otherwise, so we'll just leave it at that. Press X to doubt. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection said that it ordered the company to take immediate action to prevent further leaks. On March 30th, the department said that the pipes at the facility are repaired and controlled discharges were initiated to prevent any pressure buildup. However, based on Barras' testimony at the meetings, the situation was far from over. He concluded his address by saying that they were doing everything possible to prevent a true catastrophe. Okay. Sure. Yeah, very scary stuff happening. I wonder if they're going to tell individual people whose information was posted or whose information was hacked. I would imagine that would be incredibly important. Half a billion Facebook users' information posted on hacking website. 500 million. Yikes. The personal information about 500 million Facebook users, including their phone numbers, have been posted to a website used by hackers, cybersecurity experts say. There are records for more than 32 million accounts in the US, 11 million in the United Kingdom, 6 million in India, according to Alon Gao, the CTO of cyber intelligence firm Hudson Rock. Details in some cases include full name, location, birthday, email addresses, phone numbers, and relationship status. Jesus. Why didn't this happen before? It's really easy to just copy paste public information into usable format. Yeah, who knows? Why is it the richest country on earth is always saying we don't have the money? True. Very important question that seems to never have a legitimate answer. I've heard this before. I think they told us to stay out of the canals when this was out. Yeah, I bet. Reminiscent of what happens after a hurricane. Hudson Rock showed CNN Business the phone numbers of two of our senior staff, which are included in the database. Oof. The leak was first reported by the news website Insider. This is old data that was previously reported on in 2019. We found and fixed this issue in August of 2019, Facebook spokesperson Andy Stone told CNN on Saturday. Wait. Hold on. This happened in 2019? How come no one was notified? That is not cool. Facebook did not say if it notified affected users at that time. Stone added, in 2019, we removed people's ability to directly find others using their phone number both across Facebook and Instagram, a function that could be exploited using sophisticated software code to imitate Facebook and provide a phone number to which users it belonged to. To provide a phone number to which users... Wait. To imitate Facebook and provide a phone number to which users it belonged to. Gotcha. Although this is data from 2019, it could still be of value to hackers and cyber criminals like those who engage in identity theft. Hudson Rock's Alan Gao pointed out on Twitter that the way the data was sorted and posted on the hacking site this week makes it far more accessible for criminals to exploit. Rachel Toback, an ethical hacker and CEO of Social Proof Security, told CNN, "These are the pieces of data cyber criminals spend time searching for to perform social engineering attacks, a type of hacking, but now they're all in one place and easily accessible in this leak, which makes social engineering quicker and easier." Nice. So, if you get a really weird message that appears legit, just be skeptical, folks. That's usually how they get you. That's really hilarious since Facebook is always asking me to add a phone number for quote-unquote extra security. Yeah. That didn't turn out too good. Apparently, this happened in 2019 and nobody was notified. Explain to me how that's ethical. Explain to me how that's, like, completely fine. Maybe internationalize it. I think that they should be broken up. I think that antitrust legislation needs to be enacted against Facebook, Google, maybe Twitter. They're forming dangerous monopolies. Yeah, for all like intents and purposes, they are monopolies because there's no competition if they're coordinating or if they have so much power that like they can literally dictate policy. I mean, in those new newscast casting, I think that they said to report any wildlife like gators or something it affected in areas. It's been so long since I've actually had cable news. Same, Dragon Tamer. I don't actually have any type of cable news or anything of the sort. I'm going back to MySpace. Unironically, I looked myself up on MySpace and I couldn't find my old profile. I think they yeeted me. I think they yeeted my old MySpace profile. But who am I, like, how am I supposed to know who I left as my top 8 back then? I will never know. I will never know who I left as my top 8 last time. Why don't we go back to it? I don't know. I keep Facebook for historical reasons, but haven't visited in months. Yeah, I kind of like have a Facebook because I need to have a Facebook to run a page for the channel. And I have communication with like certain people that are still on Facebook and stuff like that. So I keep it as a just kind of a method of communication. I don't really scroll. I don't really I'm not really active on Facebook or Instagram. I'm just kind of there. I'm just kind of there. MySpace was way better because you could have music. True. I wonder, I mean, MySpace is still up, by the way. I just want to know, like, maybe I should make a new profile there. Because I actually did try to look myself up, but I couldn't find it. I mean, MySpace absolutely is still up. My 80-year-old in-laws are on it, so... Is Tom still the first friend when you join? Oh man, that would be funny. I think they should do that. Honestly, for the memes, I think that even though like Tom doesn't own MySpace anymore, I think that just for the memes, when you join, Tom should be your first friend. Also, MySpace was better because you could customize it. I mean, to however it is you wanted to look, however it is you wanted your profile to look like, you could customize it. MySpace taught you basic programming. Yeah, HTML. We need a MySpace too and call it literally just that. True. We know your Instagram is full of Instagram models, so it's an open secret for all of us to bear. Listen, nobody has evidence of any of that, okay? I don't consider that a good thing. I still have nightmares about horrific looking MySpace pages. Oh man. Oh man, the glitter. The glitter. But yeah, TLDR. These companies are way too big. And it is a bad idea to have large corporations influence public opinion to this degree or to any degree, actually. And I would expand that to everything, to be quite honest. It's not ethical to AstroTurf the airwaves, with lies and misinformation to push a narrative. Why does a search browser have a literal secret lab in a mountain? Because they're more than a search browser. If you're talking about Google, they're more than a search browser. So yeah. If you're so big that no normal person can evaluate what you're doing and how you're doing it, then you're too big. True. Google is deeply in bed with the government. True. You do not need to be on Facebook or you do not need to be on Facebook for Facebook to have their nose up your ass. That's a huge amount of websites you visit automatically put Facebook cookies on your computer, phone, and tablet. Like banks, credit agencies, Uber, and so on and so on. Oh yeah, I believe it, Bike Shop Guru. And if you use an app, it is even worse. I absolutely think that's quite the case. Worker co-ops, yeah, that would be interesting. I think that we do need to start pilot programs for incentivizing worker co-ops and starting pilot programs where banks, financial institutions would lend out the necessary stuff to prioritize worker co-ops and start pilot programs that way. Good morning, how's it going? Yeah, that's right, Zeoduke. Tinder literally connects your Facebook account to use your likes to match you? What? Is that a thing? I don't believe that. That's kind of creepy, Wing. That's kind of creepy. Ooh. I don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable with I don't know if I'm comfortable with Facebook connecting, like being so interconnected to the point where it's like dictating or matching you with potential. What? That's so weird. That is so weird. I'm sorry. I find that kind of weird. You never seen a video about women explaining the roughly 700 pages Tinder keeps on you? No. What? That's so that feels very, very odd and strange. It's already bad enough that a lot of these private corporations store so much data on you to the point where they can probably predict what color your underwear is, all right? So, I don't know. That's just like, geez, dude. I mean, making content and getting discovered is all just a giant gambling game of stake and reward. True. Small tangent, speaking of apps, in-game purchases need to be classified as gambling. I think that some are, I think I agree with you in certain circumstances, Hamburless. I think that absolutely there are certain apps that do certain microtransactions that should literally be classified as gambling. if not outright banned. Still less creepy than Matt Gaetz though. Oh no. Oh no. We gotta talk about that because I haven't said anything about that. Here's some big news from the UK. Send it to me via DMs. They can literally predict your next move. Literally, that's why they want it, to predict how to get you to spend your money on things that you might not even otherwise wanted. That's true. That's the whole point. It's to target ads to you to sell you stuff. I mean, that's why they collect your data. Remember, folks, if you're not paying for something, you are the product.
Banned neo-Nazi terror group and possessing extremity of belonging.
At times. Behave yourself, man!
A Metropolitan Police officer has been found guilty of belonging to a banned neo-Nazi terror group and possessing extremist material. The 22-year-old is the...
So, I don't know how, like, DMCA works, so if you guys aren't aware, it seems like this UK cop was caught with some neo-Nazi material.
First serving British police officer to be convicted of a terror offence. Benjamin Hanam was a member of the far-right extremist group National Action, which was banned in 2016. He lied about his past in his application to join the police. Our Home Affairs correspondent Daniel Sanford reports.
Just for DMCA purposes, I'm putting the audio.
Hanam, 22 years old, who today became the first police officer in Britain to be convicted of terrorism.
No,
After
the
he'd
first.
been found guilty, we had to chase him to talk to him because he ran from a side door of the court.
Why did you join a terrorist organisation and then join the police?
His father keeping me from asking questions and whisking him away in a taxi.
That's right, Wing.
He'll be sentenced in 3 weeks.
Why is audio any less protected in the video again? It's not. The idea, Zeoduke, is the idea for like DMCA and stuff like that is trying to be as transformative as possible. So like I'll pause the video, I'll speak over it, and I'll try not to show like the actual images. I'll just play the audio. Like it's not about just how one is more protected than the other, because they can both get you DMCA'd. It's just a matter of trying to be as transformative as possible. Randy's, how's it going? That's right, Hambliss. I'm hanging in there. Yep, that's right, Zeoduke. They can literally They can literally predict political affiliation and sexual orientation. I'm telling you, if they really wanted to, they know what kind of what color underwear you're wearing. It's true. I'm hanging in there. Randy's. I record locally and burn all my VODs, then I can say what I want and listen to what I want. I also send stuff I don't want to get in trouble for to recording only. True. That's a good strategy. That is a very good strategy.
For the ceremony and walked right past him as she welcomed the new recruits. Just 2 years earlier, here he was taking part in propaganda for the banned neo-Nazi terrorist group National
Yikes.
Action.
Let's go.
Doing fight training in the woods. And daubing a Nazi torch on a wall in Swindon.
Traces of the graffiti Ben Hanam sprayed on that trip are still visible in Swindon to this day.
Dang. Well, that's disturbing. If there was music in the background and a watermark over the video, maybe that would transform it to the point where it wasn't detected. But from the UK and seeing this one on news already, it's no loss. Yeah, true. That's very creepy. Thinking Sabercat. Yikes. That's all I can say about that story. I should nuke my VODs. Sometimes I have to, because I done goofed. But I tried to be as DMCA. I walk on eggshells in terms of like being a content creator with this DMCA nonsense. Especially how Twitch has been so good. So good at addressing this issue. Have you heard the story about a dad figuring out his daughter was pregnant by receiving ads for baby products? What? Now that you see, like, companies shouldn't have that much information on you. That is beyond creepy. That is beyond creepy. Okay, so TLDR, apparently Facebook was hacked. Half a billion people's data, personal data, was leaked and posted in a singular place where potentially cyber criminals can use this information to attempt to do cyber crimes or identity fraud or whatever. This is a problem, and I feel like every time these people get dragged into Congress, nothing gets done. There's like so many problems with allowing these companies to be so big and to have so much information. Why? Why? Lasu, how's it going? Joke's on... Aw, no, Hambliss. We're all friends here. Not send baby coupons to people who aren't having a baby. True. Yeah, like the intention of the algorithm, of the almighty algorithm, in terms of like selling you stuff, is because they wanted to get what you need directly to you. However, I feel like a lot of that is kind of like can be a lot of that need can be manufactured. Okay, a lot of that need can be manufactured based on your use of internet, which is like kind of weird because like, yeah, you might see stuff on the internet and you might be reading stuff about something that you never needed whatsoever. You were just looking at stuff, or you were just searching for information, and now you get like ads pushing you to buy stuff that you technically never needed. But hey, it's effective. It's incredibly effective. And it's incredibly creepy. And they're still allowed to operate in this manner. I think that what really makes me frustrated is the amount of it happens so often. This isn't the first time Facebook has had a problem with user information. This isn't the first time Facebook has had a problem where they had an oopsies when it comes to personal information. And there's no antitrust legislation being enacted. There's no type of regulation. I mean, every time a data security issue happens, they get dragged into Congress. Congress grills them for a few hours, and then nothing. And then nothing. Ten amazing kitchen gadgets to skin carrots. Watch, now because I said that, I'm gonna get ads about kitchen gadgets. Jesus, Yo Duke. It's junk mail and telemarketers 2.0. True. I mean, I still get telemarketing calls. Well, I think they're telemarketing calls, to be honest. I don't know. I see it just labels the call as scam probably. It just says scam likely. I never answer those. Why can I not opt out to coupons? I never use them. I never shop at the stores they come from. So why am I getting them? To get you to shop at those stores. Although I do think that you should have an option to opt out of your data being collected. And I think that you should have the option of keeping your data. Right? But again, if you are using a free service like Facebook, it's not free. You are the product. Okay? So it's not free. You're the product. And I don't know how to solve this other than actually enacting some type of legislature. They always use the same name. Hi, this is Aubrey. Oh, my favorite ones are the ones that my favorite ones are the robot voice that says, "We have an arrest warrant for you in the state of X. You have been connected with identity fraud. Please contact us at the local whatever department at insert number here." That is extremely creepy, thinking Sabercat, and it has happened to me before. Situations like that has happened to me before. So many people have smart speakers constantly monitoring household conversations too. It's scary how many tentacles they've got in so many places. Yeah, it's really creepy that Alexa listens to everything you say, by the way, whether it's whether you ask it to or not. I love the ones that call you then put you on hold. No, I've gotten the ones where apparently I've had multiple, like I don't know who's living this life, but they're certainly living in a more interesting life than I am, because apparently someone apparently I have arrest records in Washington, in Texas, and geez, what was the other scam call I got? Social security fraud. I can't remember, but yeah, apparently someone has been having a very interesting life, more than me, because I've never been to any of those states. So, and they feel very, and they try to scare you too. And they try to scare you too. All right. But let's try not to, let's try to keep it PG. Google will use Grubhub to collect your GPS information, which means that they have two apps sending your information, wasting your data, making you pay more. Yeah, true. That's kind of weird. Like, why would they need to collect your GPS? Like, isn't Grubhub already working with Google? So why would they need your GPS location if they're allegedly working with Google? That seems kind of weird. UK citizens were the most monitored in Europe. Jeez. It's on the rise because someone believes it. Thankfully, it's blown up to the point where most people know that it's a scam out there, but it's scary how much a few right words can get somebody to part with thousands. Yeah, I've seen a lot of gift card scams. Gift card scams. And unfortunately, unfortunately, a lot of the victims are a bit on the elderly side because they don't know any better, and quite often get scared into giving information or being scammed out of getting like hundreds of dollars of money and gift cards. Did you hear Mike Huckabee decided to identify as Chinese? Yeah, I saw that. Cringe. Especially as insensitive. Holy. I mean, as long as he's not being a chud about it, maybe it's okay. Yeah, like, it was just basically, just a little bit too explicit. Too explicit is what I was trying to say. Yeah. Too explicit. With what he does with his free time, or what they do with their free time. Let's put it that way. Nothing wrong with it, of course. I'm just saying it's too explicit, you know? Too much information. Thank you. I watch the scam baiters on YouTube now and then. They can be funny. Whispering with scammers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those videos. I've seen a video where this scammer actually tries to scam a computer, like a very, very tech-savvy kind of person. And the tech-savvy person pretended to be, innocent or not very knowing. And he actually reverse hacked the scammer and deleted the scammer's system32 file and just completely shut down their computer. He downloaded all of their data. He downloaded all of their information and then locked them out and deleted their computer, like their system 32 or something like that, and completely like fried their stuff. Send that to me via DMs. Send that to me via DMs. The best scam ever was by mostly people who love President Trump. True. Oh yeah. TLDR, they have too much power. This needs to be addressed. They need to be legislated, and there's definitely needs to be some type of antitrust law to kind of break these companies up, because this is unacceptable. Too much power. Speaking of, someone mentioned Matt Gaetz. What you think of Bernie? I think Bernie is cool. Issued a staggering sum of 122.7 million in refunds. True, I believe I posted that article. I'm not sure if we'll have if we'll go over it, but I'm pretty sure we have that somewhere. Breaking news via Daily Mail: House Republican Matt Gaetz is expected to be indicted within the next few weeks as former Florida official Joel Greenberg is said to have turned on him over sex trafficking of a minor. Yeah. Allegedly, this guy is about to get caught, and I hope so. I put it in the share section of the Discord. All right, let's see. I fully expect that if this is true, because Twitter is Twitter, but this guy is a journalist, apparently a political journalist. If this is true, and what? Is this true? Okay. Yeah, the tweeting question is, I've decided to identify as Chinese. Huckabee tweeted on Saturday, Coke will like me, Delta will agree with my values, and I'll probably get shoes from Nike and tickets to MLB games. Ain't America great? Yikes. I just saw the Trump tweet that said campaign counted for 2 to 3% of all U.S. credit card fraud in 2020. Jeez. I mean, known con man has been caught with multiple fraud schemes throughout his entire career. Is it really out of the realm of possibility that, he's just doing another one like he's always done? There's a pattern of behavior here. This is disgusting. Considering that considering that there have been several other anti-Asian attacks recently. This is disgusting. Especially, I was actually about to go over this. Yet another one. There was another one in NYC, I believe. It's so disheartening. It's like, hey, you're different. Lee Sung said, offering a sanitized summary of the insults, because apparently there was a lot of racial slurs. You obviously can't be from around here. Go back to your country. Like the classic, racism, xenophobia. Go back to where you came. Like this is exactly the classics, right? Hate crimes nationally against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have increased 150% during the pandemic, according to a study by Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism at California State University, San Bernardino. And then to have this guy tweet that is reprehensible. Reprehensible. Recurring payment scam is a preserve of Instagram influence scammers. No idea why any thought that Donald would do any better. True. Unbelievable. Republican Matt Gaetz is expected to be indicted again, allegedly. I don't know how much confirmation we're gonna have from this, because until I see the indictment, I don't know if, you know, until I see the indictment, because, you know, unfortunately, consequences are rarely seen, for people you know, I mean, if Andrew Cuomo, with credible harassment and, you know, sexual harassment and things like that, won't even resign, not a single inch of consequences, not an iota of consequences, I don't know. But I am hoping that he does get indicted and a full investigation, and I hope that everything that needs to happen to him happens, because what a disgusting person if all of this comes to light, as it seems like the Justice Department has been keeping an eye on him for even during the last month or two of the Trump era. I wonder if Matt Gaetz has any juice he would spill on Trump. I doubt it. He is a ghoul. It's not new. Back in the early 90s, there was a lot of anti-Asian racism due to one event in 1982 when a Japanese labor minister said the American workforce was lazy. Well, yeah, I mean, anti-Asian racism has been around for a long time, even before the 90s. Even before the 90s. Well, yeah, I hope that the Justice Department does what it needs to do, and I hope that this guy suffers consequences, if so. Okay. Yeah, so scam artist is scamming again. That is the TLDR. This is unbelievable. This is unacceptable. I saw that there was another incident where somebody assaulted, I think, 2 Asian Americans. I need to fact check myself, but I believe it was in New York City. I mean, this is just unacceptable behavior. Unacceptable. That's right. That's right. Kinetic pause. Chinese Exclusion Act back to 1882. Yep. What a reprehensible human being. Amazon apologizes for tweet dismissing lawmakers' claims that workers urinate in bottles. Uh-oh. Amazon issued an apology Friday to Representative Mark Pocan, a Democrat of Wisconsin, after mocking his claim that the company's drivers are sometimes forced to urinate in bottles during delivery rounds as a result of the demands of the job. We know that drivers can and do have trouble finding restrooms because of traffic or sometimes rural routes, and this has been especially the case during COVID, when many public restrooms have been closed, the company wrote in a blog post. No, this has been happening beforehand. The apology came after the Democratic lawmaker last month condemned Amazon's working conditions and union-busting efforts. True. Approximately 5,800 workers at Amazon's warehouse in Bessemer, Alabama, are awaiting the upcoming union vote, which is set to begin on Tuesday. Amazon has opposed the historic unionization effort, while Pocan is among legislators who support it. True. Paying workers $15 an hour doesn't make you a progressive workplace when you union bust and make workers urinate in water bottles. Pocan wrote in March 24th tweet that set off the controversy. Amazon responded by tweet, "You don't really believe the peeing in bottles things, do you?" Huh, nice meme. If that were true, nobody would work for us. Well, I mean, given the fact that, like, there's historical precedent of what you do, Amazon, where you go into a place, you essentially gobble up or destroy any other competition, making it so that your only choices are Amazon, Walmart, or fast food places in these often rural areas. So yeah, the fake notion of choice. That truth is, we have over 1 million incredible employees around the world who are proud of what they do and have great wages and healthcare from day one. That exchange ignited a series of criticisms and a story from The Intercept detailing how Amazon managers frequently voiced concerns during meetings and in policy documents and emails about the issue of workers urinating on delivery. Yeah. You lied, Amazon. You lied. Amazon on Friday described its tweet as a known goal because it did not account for the company's large driver population and instead focused on its fulfillment centers, which I believe also have this issue. The company also said that the tweet didn't receive proper scrutiny and was incorrect, acknowledging that drivers do have difficulty finding restrooms. Huh. I wonder why. Regardless of the fact that this is industry-wide, we would like to solve it, the company said. We don't know how, but we'll look for solutions. Yeah. Nice meme. Nice meme. That's right. Japanese concentration camps. I mean, I don't blame the US for being scared then. Yeah, but often fear is used to excuse reprehensible stuff. A memo for the record. Exactly. Workers at Amazon choose to work for us because alternatively they don't have work, or they have to work in another place like Walmart, who is also notoriously known for awesome wages and very welcoming of unions. They don't have like entire divisions dedicated to union busting or anything like that. Nothing at all. Or they also have this, or they can have another choice. I mean, the choices are everywhere. They could just work for, McDonald's, again, at starvation wages, or Burger King, also at starvation wages. So yeah, I mean, lots of choices going on here. Right. No drinking before your shift in order to reduce the need to pee. There you go. Solution made. Yeah, something like that, Sabercat. Something like that. Yeah, so Amazon took the L on this one because, I mean, there's so much overwhelming documented evidence that this is a reoccurring factor. And it's not just the delivery drivers, by the way. It's not just the delivery drivers. It's in the warehouses too. There have been many employees who have blown the whistle on this. Many employees who have blown the whistle on this, and it's like, you're trying to tell me that this is fake? Like, I mean, they're scared. Is really what's going on here. They're scared that the Alabama warehouse is on the cusp of unionization, and this is just them reacting to it very poorly, I should say. I really want to know what the results are for the union vote. I hope it comes out soon. I'm sure we'll know something probably by the end of this week or next week. There have been reports of UK Amazon workers wearing nappies and taking speed to get through the shifts. I would not be surprised, considering the fact that, like, it's been documented that when you work at Amazon, especially like as an Amazon picker, you have a pick rate, in which case you have to do X amount of packages, X amount of time. That app that tracks the amount of packages you've quote-unquote picked continuously rises and rises and rises until you actually physically can't do it. And then you get fired via the app. And then you're just replaced, and the process continues. So I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised thinking Sabercat. I would not be surprised. Metrics. How are your metrics? Yep. Except it isn't like a set metric where you do X amount of packages with X amount of time. It just keeps increasing. Escalating metrics. Yep. Correct, Dragon Tamer. Is Upton Sinclair's The Jungle? I've never read that book, but I've got a lot of books to get through. But one of these days. I really hope that this Alabama warehouse does vote for unionization. I really hope so. Alright, folks.
Loves me? Loves me not.
Hey.
New.
Nobody asked for ads. But speaking of ads, I'm gonna have to take a quick break. Folks, this is also a chance to do a quick show for myself. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that follow button, and make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. It really does help us out. I appreciate all of you guys being here. You guys are what makes this show go. Wikipedia on the jungle, it really has stark observation of raw capitalism. Okay. Gotcha. I'll definitely check it out. So yes, if you guys enjoy the show, please make sure you hit that follow button. Please make sure you head on over to our YouTube channel. And I do appreciate all of you guys being here. You guys are what makes this channel go. If you guys want to support the channel, there's plenty of ways to do so. By subs or Amazon Primes, which is free. I know we just went on a tirade against him, but that's okay. Biddies, merch, all of these wonderful options to support the channel are available. So I do appreciate all of you guys, and I will be right back. We got a couple of more things to cover. Alright, we are back. Okay, confession time. I secretly enjoy watching Joe Rogan stands flip out over the move to Spotify. They keep digging to find more episodes that were censored or whatever, and they post about it like it matters. Like, if they post hard enough, Joe is going to apologize and move back to Cali or something. I don't know. I don't really follow, like, the whole Joe Rogan thing too much. Another US COVID surge may look different, experts say, particularly for younger people. Here's how. Experts say COVID vaccinations in the US are going extremely well, but not enough people are yet protected, and the country may be at the start of another surge. True. Can't wait to see Easter's numbers as well. The U.S. reported a record over the weekend with more than 4 million case vaccine doses administered in 24 hours, according to the CDC. And the country now averages 3 million doses daily, but only about 18.5% of Americans are fully vaccinated. CDC data shows that COVID cases in the country have recently seen concerning increases. I do think we still have a few more rough weeks ahead. Dr. Celine Gounder, an infectious disease specialist and epidemiologist, told CNN on Sunday, "What we know from the past year of the pandemic is that we tend to trend about 3 to 4 weeks behind Europe in the terms of our pandemic patterns. The highly contagious B.1.1.7 variant has fueled an alarming rise in COVID cases and hospitalizations in parts of Europe, and experts worry that U.S. alio with the 16 biddies experts worried that the US could be next if Americans don't double down on safety measures until more people are vaccinated. Right. If the mood ever gets too somber, that video posted of the NYC union guy is bound to raise everyone's spunk. Why would Automod take that? I don't know. So, I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, why are we having this like alarmist rhetoric? Because we have the vaccine, folks. Why is there such alarmist rhetoric? We have vaccines. Why do we need masks? What's worse, experts say, is that the variant is changing the pandemic playbook and could spell trouble for younger groups that haven't been vaccinated. We have to think about B117 variant as almost a brand new virus, said Dr. Peter Hotez, Dean of National School of Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine. It's acting differently from anything we've seen before in terms of transmissibility, in terms of affecting young people, so we have to take this seriously. Yeah, that's the whole point of wearing masks. Okay, that's the whole point of trying to get vaccinated as quickly as possible and as many people as possible. Okay, and meanwhile, do the standard social distancing, wearing your mask, trying to stay home if you don't have to go out, washing your hands, so on and so forth. The difference between previous surges and another possible surge is that now the people most affected are the younger individuals. Emergency physician Dr. Leanna Wen told CNN on Sunday. Older populations have been prioritized nationwide for COVID. For COVID vaccinations, more than 54% of Americans 65 and older have been fully vaccinated, according to CDC, while more than 75% of that same age group have gotten at least one COVID vaccine dose. Yes, this is true. In fact, I'm hoping my dad gets his dose soon. It seems like he already scheduled his appointment. Hopefully. But while that age group is now relatively well protected, Wen said the younger groups are still vulnerable to as the B117 variant circulates. The variant is more contagious and may cause more severe disease. Research suggests it may also be more deadly. We're seeing places like in Michigan that the people who are now getting hospitalized by large numbers are people in their 30s and 40s. And we're even now seeing children getting infected in large numbers too. It's not just Michigan. What we're seeing is pockets of infection around the country, particularly in young people who haven't been vaccinated, also in school-aged children. Former FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb told CBS Face the Nation on Sunday. If you look at what's happening in Michigan, Minnesota, Massachusetts, for example, you're seeing outbreaks in schools and infections in social cohorts that haven't been exposed to the virus before. The infection is changing its contours in terms of who's being stricken by it now, he added. In Florida's Orange County, officials reported late last month a rise in COVID cases in the 18 to 25 age group. And a third of all the county's COVID hospitalizations were people younger than 45. According to Dr. Raul Pino, director of the Florida Department of Health in Orange County. New Jersey officials said that last week that variants, including B117 strain, were contributing to a rise in cases and hospitalizations, including in younger age groups. Between the first and last weeks of March, there was a 31% and 48% increase in the number of hospitalizations among the 20 to 29, 40 to 49 age groups, respectively. Meanwhile, older residents only saw single-digit % increases, right, because they're mostly vaccinated. Not only that, they're mostly staying home. How can we curb another surge? Despite alarming warning signs, the US is not powerless. Doubling down on safety measures, masking up, social distancing, avoiding crowds. Yeah, I mean, basic stuff. Basic stuff. what should I call you? I don't know how to refer to you. I am Suavemente. In short, call him Suave precisely. No. I am ADT. I am a difficult truth. I am Carlos from A Difficult Truth. So you've got three different ones. Choose your pick. Okay. So doubling down on safety measures. By the way, this isn't like a this isn't a big deal, okay? Wearing a mask, social distancing, trying to avoid crowds, which means try to stay home if you can, okay? Washing your hands, getting the vaccine. These aren't very draconian, or these aren't very like out of the scope of reasonable things to do, okay? Coupled with quick and efficient vaccinations can help curb another COVID-19 surge, Dr. Fauci said on Saturday. We say it over and over again, we need local people, we need the governors, and we need the mayors and others to be able to say we're not out of it yet. Exactly, the point is to double down now so that we can control the new variants, stop the spread of the new variants, get people vaccinated, and just turn the corner on this thing, which if people do these things, we'll be looking at a good outcome towards the end of this year as more and more people get vaccinated, as we begin to end 2021. We can absolutely be looking at good outcomes if we continue to listen to the experts. If we listen to the experts, if we do the masks, if we do the social distancing, if we try to stay home, if we get vaccinated, we can be looking at good outcomes towards the end of this year and just be done with it. People say you just want to confine us forever. No, this isn't going to last forever, because every day that you get 4 million, 3 million vaccinated, you get closer and closer to control. Exactly. And you don't want to blow it. And you don't want to blow it by not listening to the experts. This is a pivotal moment, okay? We've got vaccines that have proven to be quite efficacious, okay? Let's not blow it. Hotez estimated that Sunday that Americans need to hold on for another 4 to 6 weeks, and then we'll be on the other side of it. That is a very generous estimation, and I'm hoping that is true. All the vaccines seem to work well against the UK B117 variant, so that is really good news. I have a lot of confidence that we're going to be in a really good place by summer. Okay, I hope so. But if you're not vaccinated, you have to behave though. You have to behave as though you're highly vulnerable to this virus. This is not a time to get sick, right? Because one sick person equals 2. 2 equals 4. 4 equals so on and so forth. You get the idea. Which vaccine are you trying to get, or does it matter to me? I think that it really doesn't matter. To be quite honest, Memo, I think that both Moderna and Pfizer have shown about the same level of efficacy, and they have shown, and they work almost the same if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not really particular. I mean, unless the Johnson & Johnson one comes through, because that's only one. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like probably the Moderna or the Pfizer one would probably be the best to go. Because you get that double whammy. That double whammy. You want the mRNA, not the J&J. Gotcha. Yeah. I think, I don't know. I feel like that double whammy does the trick. I mean, I'm sure the Johnson and Johnson has shown very good results too. So Moderna has never had any FDA approved drugs. Interesting. I did not know that. As a company, gotcha. Got you. Oh, is what I heard? Okay. Gotta double check on that. Okay. Wait a minute. Hey, Memo, did you just subscribe? Because your badge disappeared for a second, and then it reappeared, unless Twitch is being, glitchy. No, that was a Twitch fuck up. Oh, I was about to say, I've had situations where people subscribed, and the alert never popped up, and their badge never popped up until they refreshed, and then the alert came way later. Oh yeah, Twitch be goofy like that sometimes. Morning. Yeah, I mean, as long as they keep producing like results that are positive, why in the middle of patch ones it randomly removes? I have no idea. Twitch being Twitch. So I don't know. Like, as long as they continue to produce very good results, and it seems like there's no indication to have no indication that like anybody should be necessarily averse to the vaccines. I'm not personally particular onto which one. I think that either the Pfizer one, Moderna, and if I mean, like the positive about the J&J one is that you only need one. So you don't have to make two appointments. You don't have to figure out your time schedule for work twice. You just do one and done. So I think that's another positive to consider. And only J&J has a diverse population that it was given to. She is Indonesian, worried about the sample size and sample populations. To be honest, I'm not qualified to comment. I only know that that all of these vaccines have given positive results. However, I would recommend you ask Doc Midnight _ to give like more not specialized, to give more in-depth questions like the one that you're referring to, Memo. For a bit more in-depth like that, I would ask Doc Midnight to see like what exactly, because I believe he's been into all of these studies and has been checking out a lot of this. Not that like he's the end all be all, but he does have a lot of resources, and he does have a lot of first-hand experience as a doctor. But I do think that maybe he would be the person to ask a little bit more in-depth question like that, because I really don't want to comment on something I know nothing about. Correct. So yeah, I know nothing about. All I know is that so far, the results that we've seen are overwhelmingly positive, and it seems like we're going in the right direction in terms of like these vaccines, and we're getting them out even faster than we originally thought, which is also good. So this time frame, I may be even completely wrong. Maybe it's not by the end of this year. Maybe by June or July we'll be turning the corner on this thing. I hope so. I hope so. All right, folks. It's time. It's time. Oh yes, we got another email to go over. We got another email to go over. Oh, yes. That's right, Memmius. Very good resource, too. Very good resource. I just learned about the Army of God. Oh, yeah, it's. I believe some of that is Q adjacent. Yikes. It is pre-Q. Oh my god. Yeah. Wow, they were formed in 1982? This is why religious fundamentalism is so bad. That dude holding the flag is still out and doing this? What? I know there's been plenty of attacks on abortion clinics and stuff like that. I've seen that. But I didn't know these guys were the people encouraging or even behind some of these attacks. Yeah, it is scary. It is scary. Speaking of brothers and sisters, for many Americans, Christianity has become a rapidly deconstructed fragment of their actual identity. Wait. I thought, like, identity politics was bad. But also, my identity as a Christian is central. And it's part of my actual identity. That's really weird. People refer to themselves as Christian when asked about matters of faith, but you won't find them openly proclaiming Christ as their essential identity. Jeez. What? Oh, okay. How many of us are living to God's word, and how many are living according to the ways of the world? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Oh, by the way, if you're living according to God's word, I imagine you'd be in favor of making sure, like, poor people don't go hungry, or whatnot. Or is that not or is that not convenient? In my early 20s, I was calling myself a Christian, but I was living a very worldly life. God came secondary to my career, my worldly desires. What does that even mean? I wasn't attending church. I wasn't reading my Bible. I wasn't praying. Oh no. Oh no. What was part of me was living as a Christian life that could justify myself. Would justify calling myself a Christian. That all changed a few years ago when the Holy Spirit moved my heart closer to God. Starting and scaling Gab has been one of the most challenging and rewarding things I've ever done in my life. I'd like to remind everybody this is the CEO of Gab. I can say with great confidence that without my faith, Gab would not exist today. It would have failed many times over. Press X to doubt. The more the enemy attacked and persecuted me, the closer God drew me into his loving embrace. I started attending church, got married, became a father, and humbled myself as the worst of sinners before an almighty God. This is a trustworthy saying, worthy full of acceptance. Jesus Christ came into the world to save sinners, of who I am the worst. Oh, this is a Bible verse. Jesus. This Psalm Sunday I was baptized, and we are commanded by Christ in Matthew 28:19. I invite you to watch. Wait, he filmed this? What? He filmed this? and testimony. Here I pray that it even inspires even one soul to return to Christ and commit their lives to Him. Unfortunately, many American Christians have adopted a secular home. Hold on. You can't. Okay, so it's either one or the other. Either Christianity is Christianity, or it's secular, meaning away from religion. That's the whole point. And are living in the lives similar to the way I was in my early 20s. They're embracing the demonic critical theory and the woke gospel instead of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Instead of worshiping God, they worship idols in the form of celebrities, sports players, and politicians. Okay. Yeah, we're giving her worldly possessions and holding everything in common with fellow Christians. True. I'm okay with just not that type of stoning. Yeah, like worshiping Trump, right? Exactly. They value material stuff over the fruits of the spirit, whatever that means. Citation needed. They seek comfort and fleeting pleasures over the suffering and courage it takes to live an unapologetic and authentic Christian life. What does that mean? What does that mean? They are lukewarm Christians. What is a lukewarm Christian? So either they are or they aren't. The time for lukewarm Christianity is over. Christians need to rise up and proclaim the name of Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, to the world. We are the supermajority in the West. Citation needed. And despite the fear-mongering, that isn't going to change anytime soon. So I have a question. Are you the supermajority who has the power, or are you the victims of constant persecution? Which one is it? Are you the victims that are being destroyed and being oppressed? Or are you the supermajority? The enemy is both strong and weak. Just saying. We are the ones establishing nuclear families. We are the ones that are bringing up our children to know and love the Lord. We are the ones building sovereign businesses and infrastructure. What does sovereign businesses mean? You do realize that, and this may be hard for you to believe, but you actually need infrastructure, state infrastructure, to run a business. You need permits. You need licenses. If you're building sovereign businesses, someone should look into that. And infrastructure. We're the ones who are with a future worth fighting for. We are reformers, builders, pioneers. I don't know what that means. The entire coalition of demonic critical theory ideologies filled with self-centered, atomized individuals who need Christ. They choose lust over love, greed over grace, pride over humility. Oof, a lot of projection going on here. A lot of projection. Self-proclaimed victims, are they really being persecuted? Press X to doubt. No. Which, like, my question is, like, are you the victims of oppression, or are you the supermajority that has all the power? The biggest. Are you the supermajority, or are you the oppressed? I can't. It's one or the other, my friends. The enemy's current strongholds are in the education system and in the culture. Your top objective is the indoctrination and conversion of your children to their demonic religion. The single most important thing we can do as Christian parents is to prevent that from happening. The way we do it is by going all in, taking a leap of faith, and living fully for Christ. There's no room for or time for lukewarm. The enemy is expecting us and conditioning you to be lukewarm. When you're lukewarm, you're vulnerable. Your children are vulnerable. Our country, and indeed the West, is vulnerable. Yikes. That was a lot of dog whistles. Cut the cable cord. Cancel Netflix. Delete your big tech accounts and join Gab. If at all possible, find a way to homeschool your children. If that's not possible, make sure you're spending time in God's Word daily. So, wait. I get it. The end game is to indoctrinate children to your worldview. Your goal is to indoctrinate children to your view. Yep, that's right, Heat. Now I now know what my stream focus on, taking down these bots. True. Hey, there you go. There you go. That's a wonderful idea, Heat. Bronze Age ideology still existing in 2021. Good grief. True. So your goal is not to your goal is to indoctrinate children under your worldview. If that's not possible, to make sure you're spending time in God's world daily. If your children are not raised to have a biblical worldview, the enemy will most certainly see to it that they are raised with their demonic secular humanism worldview. What is the best way to raise up your children with a biblical worldview? Live it yourself. Be the example. It's so important not to sink into despair right now. We serve the creator of the universe. Trust his plan. Oh man. Oh no. Christians need to play the long game, and we need to start being strategic about our plan to recapture the control of our countries. Wait. You just said in the same email that you are the super majority. But I thought you already got this. Really grinds my gears. Thanks for covering this. Of course. I get these ever so often. I keep getting ads on YouTube for Pure Flix, the Christian Netflix. What? There's a Pure Flix? Okay. That begins with the end of lukewarm Christianity. The tolerance of generations before us who has led to the subversive takeover of every facet of society, and even faith by the global elite. That does not mean that they cannot be defeated. I believe that God has a plan to do so, but will take the organized, peaceful, long-term commitment and effort of his people to accomplish this. We must never again tolerate evil and the spirit of Antichrist in our culture, governments, education systems, homes, and our own hearts. I wonder where this rhetoric was with the Trump administration. Today is, yeah, this was on Easter, sorry. Today on this Easter Sunday, we remember hope, grace, forgiveness, and salvation of our risen Savior. We will forge ahead into the darkness and be not afraid of for our God will always be victorious, and our faith rests in the eternal life that awaits us in his kingdom. Wait, so you're good. Hey, folks, wait, you did it. All you have to do is wait for God's plan. You did it. There's no further action needed, folks. They're dogless and afraid of man. Yeah, exactly. Wing. Wait, guys. You did it. Why take any action if your God and Savior, your Lord, God and Savior, has already had the victory predestined? You have nothing to do. You're good. There's no further action necessary. Or it could just be one giant lie. You know. It could just be one giant lie. One giant con. Just go home, pray, do nothing. Good job, guys. Yeah, you did it. You did it. Look, it says it right here. Our God will always be victorious, and our faith rests in the eternal life that awaits us in his kingdom. You guys did it. Oh, wow. Wait. Yeah, no, clearly this is, someone who's losing it in real time. I mean, in real time, because these emails didn't start coming until very recently. I'm so glad I kept that, that line to Gab, because these emails are absolute gold. Absolute gold. That's right, Wing. Yeah, these emails are absolute gold. So what I do is I forward them to myself. Well, I forward them to my my official email. So I have another email which I use, and I that's where I get them. But what we're watching, in my opinion, is I believe. Oh, come on. Sorry, my work computer is just being dumb. Anywho, what we're watching, I think, is somebody just unraveling in real time. Maybe Gab isn't doing so well. Maybe he threw all his eggs into that basket and it's not going so well. To the point where he begs you on each of these, yeah, I know, Memmius. It does. It's weird. Weird. I'm wondering if things aren't going so well and he's losing it. Kind of like my pillow guy. Because every email ends with this. The level of attack we're under right now is in this spiritual war has never been greater. We are facing media smears, literal demon hackers, and banks banning us, which again, I'm thinking the guy's freaking out. The guy's freaking out. And now the governor of Texas and others in the establishment are smearing our community of millions of people. I ask you that please kindly keep us in your daily prayers, and if you could consider upgrading to Gabbro, making a donation or purchase from our shop to support us. Yeah, this guy's freaking out, and I think we're watching this unfold in real time. By the way, the previous email that we went over, where he tried to cancel Kat Parks for being a liberal, subversive individual, is because she came out against this. She is a representative from Texas. So yeah, when he was trying to rail against the Texas GOP, he mentioned a subversive woke, liberal, critical theorist, Cat Parks. For speaking out against things like this. And this is frequent on Gab. This is frequent on Gab. Randy Rainbow has a new song about cruising Graham. It's fun. Is it on YouTube? Let's see.
I'm down on the Texas border, along with 18 senators. We made the trip to see the crisis that is playing out.
It's a humanitarian tragedy, but it's literally insane policy.
They toured the Rio Grande, the Democrats say. A photo ops with Susan, Chuck, and John. 'Cause up to now they didn't give a rat's say.
This is madness.
About any border crises going on.
True.
They ought to be embarrassed by their hypocrisy, stringing their constituents along.
It's time to take back the border.
But ain't it only like the corrupted GOP, pretending like they don't know right from wrong? Yeah, right. I know. They suck. That's why everyone loves to hate on Ted and Lindsay. Their problem isn't popularity. You'd think they'd be ashamed of the shenanigans they try, but never Cancun Cruiser Lady G. They really only care about Ted and Lindsay.
Well, that's true.
But that don't mean they can't put on a show. When Texans are in peril and in need of his support, old Teddy's right there on the ground and holding down the fort. Well, unless he's relaxing down by the pool at a fucking 5-star resort, he's gone about as low as he can go. Not yet. He's gone about as low as he can go. Everyone loves to hate on Ted and Lindsay, from Washington, D.C. to Santa Row. They barely gave a crap when our democracy was hacked, but now they're dressed in costumes and they're trying to distract. So the only thing the country can agree on is the fact that Ted and Lindsay really gotta go. Damn straight. We know that Ted and Lindsay gotta go.
This is madness.
Everyone always dunks on Ted and everyone always dunks. And quite frankly, it's my favorite thing to do. Oh, it's my favorite. It makes me lose my lunch to see them trifling on TV, spouting propaganda till they're blue. Everyone loves to hate on Ted and Lindsay, who've cheered on every coup and quit pro quo. Well, one day Lindsay jumps through hoops when Daddy Donald calls. The next he's clutching pearls when his supporters climb the walls. Then he's back in the game playing golf with his buddy and begging to hold his balls. They've gone about as low as they can go. Ugh, gross. They've gone about as low as they can. Gone about as low as they can. Gone about as low as they can. Everyone loves to hate on him. Everyone loves to hate on him. H-J-T-E-O-N. Lizzie Hudson. Yeah!
It's time to take back the border.
Shut up.
$12-hour stream day? No. Alright, folks. I'm just gonna turn that down a bit. Sorry. Was it too loud? Anyway, folks, I do have to get going. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out here. If you guys enjoyed the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the follow button, subscribe button on YouTube, and spread the word far and wide that this is the chillest place to be for news and politics, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And we do have the Saturday Catterdays at about noon, so make sure you stick around for that. Join the Discord for any updates on the channel. As always, I love y'all. Please take care of each other. Stay safe. And I hope to see you guys in the next stream. See ya! Let's raid Mr. Geek. Let's do it. Have a good day. And everybody, you have a good day. Thank you, Heat. Thank you, Memius. Alright, folks. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.